What is happening, my blocked buddies? This is Blocked Content, and I think you guys know what we're going to talk about today because actually the most awesome thing possible could have happened on the Jimmy Fallon show last night. Actually, what happened was not only did we get a very cool preview of Super Mario Run coming to iOS devices, which even, announced a couple of new things about the game, but also we got to see the Nintendo Switch for the very first time being played live on stage, and I just gotta say, this was pure incredible. I just gotta talk a little bit about, how exactly it was being shown. I was so happy that, it happened in such a cool way. There was actually this question mark block on the table right there, and we could have all guessed what was inside that question block, right? I mean, could it be any other thing than just the Nintendo Switch? But you never know. It might have been a prop on the table right there, right? That we never really know was going to get used, but this really happened, and I'm so happy. I think that the Jimmy Fallon show, the Tonight Show, is such a fun show. I actually like Jimmy Fallon quite a lot. I know he gets a bad rap sometimes for laughing too much at the jokes that his guests make, and that he's a little bit too fakey. I think that that's just who he is, and he's a pretty fun guy, and he's easily entertained. That's why he's an entertainer, because he also wants to easily entertain people. And I absolutely loved his reaction to everything that he saw. I think there are a lot of, kind of secrets that we can still kind of glean from the footage that we saw. But just to say this, when Reggie Fils-Aimé actually lift that question mark block off from the table and showed the Nintendo Switch in all its glory, man, I squealed a little bit. It was so amazing, and what makes it so cool is that, we've seen the Etika video, we've all seen that video of, Joy-Con boys and all that, but now it was really the moment where we saw the Switch in not just this promotional video that we've seen, but actually in real life, and seeing the controller portion of it, seeing the handheld console version of it and the dock right there, and it might even have a matte finish, which would be so amazing. It would look so cool. It looks so cool because it's this, black and gray console, and I don't think that, normally I would say that's kind of, sad looking, but with this console, it looks so sleek. And what surprised me the most about the console is not only does it look great, but it also looks very, very thin. The design of the Nintendo Switch handheld controller is so thin that, you might even mistake it for something like a tablet, which of course we know it's not a tablet. It's actually just a, handheld device, a console that you take on the go. I love how the sticks look. I don't think they're circle pads at all. They're actual sticks, and they look amazing too. I think the buttons look awesome. No different colors on them, as we kind of predicted with our NX videos back in the day. People saying, yeah, could they be yellow, green, red, and blue buttons? No, they're still sticking with the design from the trailer, and not all this much has changed actually, which I'm very happy about. I still love the Nintendo Switch logo. I think it was a very good choice to go with this yin-yang kind of idea, and it was just a really big treat to see it live on the show. And it even showed the dock a little bit. It showed what kind of cables go in there, and it even showed kind of the back side of the dock that we'd never seen before. So it's USB-C, as we've all rumored, that goes inside there. So that might help with its performance quite a bit. And it's been rumored that there's actually an extra fan in there to keep the console games from not overheating as much. And right then, Reggie Fils-Aimé was like, hey, Jimmy, we know that you're such a big fan of Nintendo. We know you love it when we bring the games, when we bring the goods, so I have to bring this. And then Jimmy was like, oh, it's not going to be the Switch, right? It's not going to be the Switch. And, well, it totally was the Switch. And that was just amazing. To debut it on his show was very cool. It was a very cool choice. What I really like about this show is that they embraced the fact, right, that Nintendo was there. They weren't very casual about it either. Jimmy was talking about, Breath of the Wild, like he had, seen a couple of gameplay videos himself, and, really dove deep into that universe. He was like, wait, can't you surf on your shield and stuff like that? What button does that do? And I was like, wow, this guy really knows his stuff. And Usually you do your research before interviewing someone, right? But I think this was a different case. I think that guy was legitimately excited about the possibilities of this console, and that he knew this stuff from just looking it up. He was like, yeah, I saw the commercial online and I've watched it 1,000 times, which is of course the Nintendo Switch reveal video of 3.5 minutes, and that makes me so happy because I'm not the only one that watched that video 1,000 times. Anyway, and it was just so cool to see Reggie Fils-Aimé play a little bit of Zelda as well. I know he gets a bad rap sometimes for playing video games and not doing all that well. I know we've seen him fight Hungrybox in a Smash tournament and totally lose. But yeah, Smash Brothers can be a complicated game for newcomers, right? And I think in a Q&A, Reggie even said that his favorite game of all time is Super Mario World, and that he beat it with 99 lives and unlocked all the secret paths, which is amazing, and it's a cool feat. I didn't manage to do that when I was very young. But yeah, he's playing the Switch a little bit. He's showing it off with his awesome I Love New York t-shirt, which says I'm Mario New York, which is awesome. He has this Mario pin on his jacket as well, and he's just playing with that cool Pro controller, the new Zelda game. He's just casually walking around. This is the new Zelda game. And then he says, of course, as you can expect with any cool demo, it's like, well, anything that you can see in the distance is where you can go. And that, of course, is a huge selling point of Breath of the Wild. And playing it with that Pro controller actually looked awesome, wireless, and a sleek look to it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that version of the controller. Maybe if it's included in a premium pack, I'll just own it. But to me, it's just exciting to see all these different play styles. I even think that Jimmy Fallon noted that, hey, it's basically 3 consoles in one, right? And he's not wrong, because if you think about it, it's a home console, right? And you can take it on the go, but you can also use those Joy-Cons. So that's actually a new experience, which could possibly be seen as like a new way to play, right? A new console. So he was not wrong on that front, and I thought it was so cool how he was so excited the whole time. He was like, yeah, please let me try, Reggie, let me play the game. And Reggie was like, I gotta show you this thing first, and I'm gonna do my best Reggie impression. I gotta show you this thing first, Jimmy. Anyway, that was not good. He was actually showing the boulder, and he was saying, hey, you see those bokoblin right there? You can like go in there and hack and slash them or sneak around and stab them, but you can also just, gently push this boulder, and what happens then? Well, Jimmy said boom, and boom happened. So I thought it was really cool the way that they showed it off. It didn't feel awkward at any moment, which stage demos kind of always feel a little bit awkward, right? And it didn't this time. It felt really fluid and, of course, a little bit rehearsed as well. I don't really know how much of this show is actually improvised and how much is rehearsed. I don't think that Jimmy knew that the Switch was coming, right? But maybe he did know, and maybe they kind of knew how to play this segment for the audience. But to me, it felt very organic. It felt very cool. And even Reggie just asking the band, can I get a drum roll here? And they did it. It was just a magical moment for the Jimmy Fallon show. And I like the Jimmy Fallon show. I think that he is a very entertaining guy. There are cool segments on there, and a lot of it is music based, which I really, really love. So there was also a little tidbit of this where you can actually, in a different video on Jimmy Fallon's channel, you can actually see Shigeru Miyamoto playing the Super Mario Brothers theme with the Roots band, with the live band of Jimmy Fallon, which was amazing. They do like a little medley through the end, and it just sounds really good. It sounds really true to the original, especially like the drum beat and also the bass line. It was just on point, the entire thing. It was just so cool to see Shigeru Miyamoto play with them, and he playing his acoustic guitar, and it sounded very cool. I think all in all, the experience with connecting also Super Mario Run to it was amazing, because giving that game to a larger audience is just so cool. It's the Mario you expect, but it's not really that complex. You play it with one hand, you basically press to jump, and that's everything. So I'm very happy that, the reception was very good. People were very hyped about it. And I think I can safely say that I was very hyped about it too, even learning that there are new playable characters coming to Super Mario Run, which you can actually unlock in the game. And I was so happy to hear about this, because I kind of wanted this without really saying it. It's called Super Mario Run for a reason, right? But the playable characters contain Luigi, who also has this large jump and, kind of float. And then it also has Toad, which I expect will actually be faster. It's pretty funny to play as normal Toad in a game, right? In a new Super Mario Brothers styled game. Because we've always played, either Blue Toad or Yellow Toad, something like that. So seeing actual Toad in that game is like, yeah, you're casualizing to the max here, Nintendo. And then, of course, Yoshi is playable. And who would have thunk it, right? Yoshi in a Mario game. And not riding Yoshi, but playing Yoshi and jumping around and doing these flips and, wall jumps. And he can even do the flutter jump, which is really cool. Anyway, I am totally hyped about everything Switch because seeing it in motion just makes me want it even more. And like Reggie said, January 12th, be on Block Content because we're going to talk about that presentation where we're going to see a whole lot more about Switch, including some Switch games. I can't wait. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And I want to know down here in the comments, please place a comment down below. What did you think of the Jimmy Fallon, appearance of Nintendo? Did you like what you saw of Super Mario Run? Or, was Breath of the Wild more your taste? And what did you think of the entire show? What did you think of Jimmy Fallon's reaction? Was he genuine? Was it rehearsed? Or, I thought it was amazing and I can't wait for more. Anyway, this was Block Content. We'll see you around the corner where there's always more Nintendo Switch news.